the Dalai Lama and China by solo.
Ravi Koish Mamsu, Pandang Male join, Jendison, Denson Jesu, Shepherd Sundipo, the Denchushi. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to have me here today. And of course, warm welcome and greeting to the Honorable Chief Guests and dignitaries. I also would like to thank you so much for Komus Hochila for giving me this great opportunity to tell something of my book. And of course, the youth hostel community, who is always there for Bangalore people. So without taking much time, let me tell you two things why I've written this book. So my first one is, I was born in Tibet and brought up in India. With gesture of gratitude, TCB has offered me a great opportunity in my education field. When I stand in my own life, something pushes to me the limit where what I can do for my country and people. And questions like what I can do for the cause of Tibet and the people, to achieve the people who are in Tibet and the Chinese occupation. So within last few years, I have decided to write this book, and I think that it will help to the people to know better about Tibet. The another one is, I have been privileged to go to Tibet after my graduation. That was a good time and turning point of my life. Many changes happened in my life. I was lucky to interact with many Tibetan young generations in Tibet, and of course, many elder people as well. When I come back to India, I think that I should put down in a paper, and it might be help some people who are in India who really want to know about Tibet and Tibetan people inside Tibet. So that's the second reason that why I should write this book. So without taking much time, let me tell you a brief summary of this book. The main aspiration of writing this book is, I'm just trying to give a crystal clear message to the Beijing government and leaders regarding how to solve Tibet-China conflict. Sometimes the leaders might be thinking that His Holiness the Dalai Lama has been bland and consider him as a problem. Actually, he is the true asset to dissolve the Tibet issue. So one of my appeals is, China should change their mind and start talking with His Holiness Dalai Lama before it's too late. So when I talk about the Tibet problem, it's a China problem, it's an Asia problem, which is ultimately connected with other 6 continents. It must be a problem of global repercussion. Even the story of Tibet well known across the people of the world, but many governments need for $1 billion business with China, though they deplored human rights violation in Tibet. So I used to say that there should be a true meaning for the ethics. There should be change in conspiracy theory, and global should have a true ethics. So when I talk of the problem, when solving a problem, dig at the root instead of just hacking the leaves. So we need to know what's our problem, who will solve this problem, how can we solve this problem, what will be pro and con in the process of solving this problem is the main points that I've mentioned in this book. So when I touch with what's our problem is one independent country occupy another country. The people of the occupation, under the occupation country, having had a very hard time in terms of human rights, lack of human rights, cultural genocide, preservation of language, and environmental destruction. So we don't want this to continue in Tibet. It's our main problem. And how can we solve this problem is another question. So as taking the core concern of the universal responsibility, the vision of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, middle way approach is the best way to solve this problem. When I talk of the middle way approach, it's a pragmatic policy based on the principle of justice, non-violence, friendship, equality, and of course, universal responsibility. It does not achieve the victory of oneself and defeat the others. So my another appeal to Beijing governments, they should take the response to the middle way approach that I've mentioned in this book. When I talk of the pro and con in the process of solving this problem, Tibet issue should be solved within the last period of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. If it will not solve, then I have predicted 3 revelations in this book. Tibetan bloodshed revelation, where I mentioned that there might be time come when all the mountains die red and valley and crop places filled with the dead body and the graveyard. At that time, Beijing government should have a responsibility to such a tragedy that will come sooner or later. So let me conclude from here, and I have a big expectation from you readers. Not only read this book, but please share the true story of Tibet, the people around you, because every individual makes a great difference. So I trust you, and you can help me to explore the story of Tibet, the people around you. And thank you so much.